morning church, let's open up our Bibles. Rap book recitals, let's discuss these whack rhymers, backsliders.
Now, right here, to start human history with the Torah, Quran, and Gospel is like starting a book in the last chapter without reading the ones that preceded it. So here you got Shem for all the Semitics, 2441 BCE. I'm giving you dates. Ham, 2440 BCE. You got Cush up there, 2342 BCE. Do you see the pyramids right there? That's at 2550 BCE. Do you know it took 200,000-300,000 years of architectural development to even get to that damn date right there? Do you understand what I'm saying? So how in the hell is you gonna go back and tell me something about a damn Semite that's born 2441 BCE? Nigga, beat me. Just beat me. There's nothing we can do with that. I'm sorry. That's garbage. When you got this a pyramid that you know it took 200,000-300,000 years to develop that science, and you're gonna tell me about it. You a Semite. You an Arab. Now, I put this timeline up here. This comes from a Christian organization, so if you get mad at them. Says, Great Pyramids of Egypt built around 2550 BCE. Now, if you come down here, it says Ham, born 2440 BCE. Now, anybody know the biblical story? Ham is supposed to be the father of Egypt. Now, how the hell Ham gonna be down there at 2440 BCE and Egypt already got pyramids? I mean, just the simple mathematics. Our people won't even look at this. A child can do that. That deduction, you got grown people walking around talking about Ham is the father of Egypt. How? Explain it to me. And then you got the Ark, 2464 BCE. The Great Flood, 2344 BCE. And they building pyramids? Why they ain't right about it? And then ask yourself, this is a physical construction that's still here today. And everything they got down here for the Bible is cartoons. Where the realness at? Where the evidence is at? So you look up here, Cush was born 2342 BCE. Cush, representing Ethiopia. Shem, which is the father of the so-called Semitic race, he's born 2441 BCE. Ham, who's supposed to be the father of the African race, was born around 2440 BCE. Now y'all keep them dates in mind. Now immediately when you look up at the pyramid is at 2550 BCE. That's older than all three of them mythological characters. Now you got to understand that it took over 300,000 years to develop the science to build a damn pyramid. So you got to add the 300,000 to the 2550 BCE. Okay, here you got Abraham and Sarah in Egypt, 1916 BCE. You got Ishmael, the first Arab, 1905, 1768 BCE. And then you got Isaac down there, which is the Jew, 1891, 1711. Can't start no damn history with that family. We much older than that. We're hundreds of thousands of years older than that. With facts. Can't start with that family. I know it hurt. I know it hurt. And I'm just going to put it on you because I love you. It's still your history. Now, coming up out of this book, Dr. Ben tells us that at 10,000 to 6,000 BCE, the stellar calendar is in use by the ancient Nile Valley Africans and other Africans of the Great Lakes region. I want y'all to look at them dates. You understand what I'm saying? 4,000, solar calendar in use by the ancient Nile Valley Africans. The book of the coming forth by day and by night was introduced in a revised state, also known today as the Book of the Dead. 1770, the birth of Abraham, the first Hebrew Jew in Asia at the city of Ur, Chaldea during its colonial period under African rule to sun worshippers. Now, what we got to understand first and foremost, that Islam, Christianity, and Judaism are Abrahamic religions. You snatch Abraham from up under them, they have nothing. His first son, Ishmael, is supposedly the father of the Arab. Isaac, his second born son, is supposedly the father of the Jew. Now, if Abraham is the father of the Christian, the Jew, and the Muslim, and we already had a damn calendar at 4000 BCE, how the hell is we starting with these religions? And we can't even find a tomb for any of these individuals.
There is not one shred of archaeological evidence for the existence of Moses or of any of the Bible's main cast of Hebrew characters, from Abraham to Jacob to Joseph to King David to King Solomon. There is, however, plenty of evidence for the existence of Egyptian pharaohs.
They just come on the scene, family. And right there, first king of Sumer, 2520. That's the first king in that area of Mesopotamia, period. The very first king. And so we already got pyramids standing by the time they put their first king on the throne. And then right down there, you got Ur-Nashi, the first king of Sumeria. And this nigga gonna say that Sumeria brought knowledge into Egypt and they ain't even got a goddamn king to 2520 BCE, and the pyramids is already standing, and it took 300,000 years at least to develop the knowledge to build it. How the hell you gonna bring something into Kemet and you ain't even got a ruler? You ain't even got a goddamn government. The first thing we need to know is about this Bible. If you can't accept it, then you need to go on and get up out of it, because the facts is the facts. The first book in the Bible is Genesis. It was written by Moses. If you go to Acts, chapter 7, 22, 23, got some information for you. It says, and Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians and was mighty in words and in deeds. And when he was a full 40 years old, 40, okay, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. Number one, ask your reverend, your preacher, what this education he got. Okay? You ain't gonna do it, and he ain't gonna give you no damn answers. Because if he give you some answers on what the education was that the man got, then you can put it side by side with the information in the Bible and show that the information coming out of Egypt was much older. Okay? Now, one of the most profound images in Egypt that a lot of people show is of Aset and Haru. Okay? Now, that's all over Kemet. That's all over Nubia. That's all over Ethiopia. But you want to say that Yahweh handed Moses some tablets, and one of the commandments was honor thy mother and honor thy father. When we got the woman, we didn't deal. Not only have we honored our mother, we didn't deified our mother. And it's easy to be seen. It's easy to be seen. Now, once you know that Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible, for argument's sake. Abraham. Nobody even spoke of Abraham until Moses. Nobody even spoke of a Joseph, a Adam, or an Eve to Moses. Period. So if he was learned in all of the wisdom of the Egyptian that existed before he wrote this book, we want to know what he learned. So we can put it side by side and see what he took. Because we ain't building no goddamn pyramids, and we ain't came up with these little baby ass, honor thy mother and thy father. These motherfuckers building pyramids. Get the fuck out of here, man. They way past, they got goddesses on the wall, family. Not only have they honored thy mother, they have deified their mother. See, you got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to look, you got to be, that's quick mathematics. You got to be thinking in your mind. You understand what I'm saying? So right here, we see Ham. Now when we deal with Ham, those are the 3 sons of Noah. When they had the flood, Noah took Noah and his wife, his 3 sons, Ham, Shem, Japheth, and they 3 wives. So 8 people got on the boat. And so Ham, according to the biblical stories, is supposed to represent the father of Africans, black people. Shem is supposed to be the father of the Semitics, the Arab and the Jew. And then you got Japheth, which is supposed to represent the Gentiles, the white people. Now, as you can see, you got Cush, you got Mizraim, which is representative of Egypt. See, they put all these fake ass names on it. And again, you get turned off because you don't know what Mizraim is Egypt. Ain't no damn Mizraim. What the hell is Mizraim? That's some damn motherfucker train. And so they hide your knowledge behind all these words that you can't understand. And that's why I keep it raw. I don't try to hide and put no big ass words up there. Cush is Ethiopia. Okay, if you go into Genesis 2, starting at Genesis 2, verse 10, and it says, "And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became unto 4 heads. The name of the first is Pison, that is which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold." I'm gonna go down, and the gold of that land is good. There's bdellium and the onyx stone, and the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. This is the Garden of Eden. And then it goes on to say, and the name of the third river, Hiddekel, that is which goeth towards the east of Assyria, and the fourth river is the Euphrates. So a lot of people say it came out of Mesopotamia. But according to Genesis, it came out of Africa first, and then it went into Mesopotamia. It came up out of Africa. So Cush is Ethiopia, Mizraim is Egypt. You got Havilah over here, and if you go to Genesis 10, verse 7, and it says, the sons of Cush, Seba and Havilah. So this shows that Havilah is the son of Ethiopia. It's the son of Ethiopia. So all of this was African. This is what started this. And even you look over here, Shinar, and you see Heth and Hamatha right up here. All of that shows you to the extent where the Africans had took. Now this is according to the Bible. But from the knowledge that we have studied up under our elder scholars, man, listen here, the Egyptians had taken over all of this shit. None of this even exists. This is just according to the Bible. This is biblical mythology. There's some truth in it, but you got to understand it by understanding your original knowledge. And then you can look at this and say, okay, I see where they're coming from. Like Ham, that's Kam or Kim, meaning black. That's what it means, okay? So they didn't change. And so just like you see, they try to play game. Ain't no vowels in the Hebrew. So sometimes they say Bethlehem with the H-E-M at the end. It's not Bethlehem, it's Bethlehem. It's Bethlehem, the house of blackness. That's what it represents. That's what it really means, house of blackness. But it's coming up out of Africa, going into these lands. And up there you see the Ashkenaz, Jew that exists today, that then took over all of that. Now he's represented as the true Hebrew. Ain't no damn Hebrew, but if it was one, he had to have been a black man and a black woman. So when we talk about Acts 7:22, and it says, and Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptian. All the wisdom. So you can't come up out of Egypt talking about it's a coincidence that me and you got the same spiritual practices. That somehow it's just by coincidence. And it says, and was mighty in words and in deed. Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians and was mighty in word and in deed. And it showed his ass peeking on the wall, getting the knowledge. So when you go in the Bible and then you look at the ancient Egyptian spirituality and you see some similarity, it is because the Semitics, when they conquered Egypt, they stole knowledge up off of the wall. That's all that they did. Now, they spent 430 years in Egypt. We've been here much longer than that. We've been over here about 500 years. Now, we thoroughly Europeanized, thoroughly Americanized. Everything we do is European in origin. So the question becomes, when they left Egypt, what did they take with them? Because we know for a fact that they had to take something. And they took a whole lot of something. That when they left, they had to almost be 100% Egyptian. How the hell you gonna come in with 70 people and I'm the king and my peoples is in power and we raping your damn woman if you came in? It just happens that way. If you've been defeated, we gonna get you, woman. They did it in Vietnam, they did it in Korea, they do it in any war. If we get over there in your land, we ain't bringing our woman with us, so we gonna get us some. Who we gonna get it from? We gonna get it from your woman. We're gonna get it from your woman. So if they was in Egypt for 430 years, you know we got their woman. So I don't know why these Hebrew Israelites talking about they got a lineage. They're gonna go all the way back to Israel. How? I mean, explain that to me. You gonna come in 70 people, get swallowed up by the ancient Egyptians, and you gonna trace your lineage to a mythological land called Israel. God damn it, and the Canaanites were nothing but Egyptians. Nah, right here, this is the Hebrew history, Hebrew Bible timeline. Do you see right here what this says? It says canon of Hebrew Bible, 70 AD. Canon, meaning as you know it today, as what you read today, that's when it come into form. Now you look over here at 1250, Moses in the Exodus. Yet it's still, if you come down, where is it? Okay, right here. You got right here Psalms, Samuel, Exodus, Genesis 1, Jeremiah, golden age of Hebrew literature at 515. I'm assuming that's BCE, before the Common Era. But damn, the man died in damn 1250. So what took so damn long for these damn books to come into being? Ain't no damn Moses wrote no damn Genesis. And even then, them dates right there ain't right. They just giving themselves a little more ancient credibility by even saying 515 BCE. They can't bring you no damn Bible out that old. An original Bible. Shut me up. Just show the damn book. Show the Bible. Show the scroll. Even the oldest so-called Hebrew scriptures is on papyrus. I'm going to show you. So that all of that is garbage. They can put any damn date up there they want. Tell them to match a damn manuscript to that date. If they say, okay, that them books came into being in 515 BCE, tell them to show you a goddamn papyrus at 515 BCE with them damn writings on it. They will not be able to show you that. The oldest damn books that they got of the so-called Old Testament is basically AD of this era. They don't have no writings in BC era. Hebrew, Arabic, or anything else dealing with the Bible, Christianity, and Islam. Again, now this is some more. Torah according to tradition. In final form, 444 BCE. In the final form. That's what they'll tell you, but tell them to show you a damn manuscript at 444 BCE. They won't show you it. They'll give you a date, but they won't show you no damn manuscript. It's a damn lie. They are in Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. It's basically an AD religion. I don't give a damn what nobody say. If they can't show you no damn documents that go back to them dates, how the hell you know it's a BC religion? Unless you can, the Egyptians can kindly show you all the papyruses. The papyrus of Hunefer, the papyrus of Ani, the Ebers papyrus, the Edward Smith papyrus. All of these papyrus is still in existence, and you can date papyrus because it was a living thing. So you can date it. You can carbon date it based on DNA carbon. You can date it. They ain't got it. They can't show it to you. The Jewish Encyclopedia states that those who regard the Joseph stories as historical generally hold that the Pharaoh by whom Joseph was made the practical ruler of Egypt was one of the Hyksos kings. He was not an African. So everybody talking about somebody made Joseph prime minister. That goddamn ain't even knows Joseph ever existed. That's a damn story to co-opt our history so they can steal Egypt from our people. Ain't no Joseph, no Moses, no Abraham. All of those are fictional characters. No tomb for them.
There is not one shred of archaeological evidence for the existence of Moses or of any of the Bible's main cast of Hebrew characters, from Abraham to Jacob to Joseph to King David to King Solomon. There is, however, plenty of evidence for the existence of Egyptian pharaohs.
No documentation from another people to say that these people existed. Ramesses' name is all over the world. His name is in Greek writings, Roman writings, Persian writings, and the Cushite writings. His name is in the Egyptian writings. His name is across the world in all of them writings. If these men did all the great things that they say they did, what the hell is the documentation? You're not going to split no damn sea and only one man going to write about it. You're going to feed 10,000 people with 2 fish and a goddamn loaf of bread and not one of them 10,000 going to write about it? You got to be real about this shit. Raising men up out the goddamn grave and one man write about it. Man, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Make me go back to my southern roots. Semitics coming to Egypt, Tom Mary. It shows, I got the original, but it clearly shows the so-called Semitics as basically what you know of today in your local liquor store. Nothing but an Arab. Same, you can see the beard like they like to wear. I got the original, that's a painting, but I got the original right there. That's in the tomb of Khnum Hotel. It shows them coming in. There's nothing but the Arab that you know of today. Now they might have some mixture in them, but so does the Arab of today. Do you see it?
With a damn donkey.
With a damn donkey. That's all they mess with. And see, when you see them, that's their zoo types. You got to study their zoo type. What is an Arab? A mixed breed. That's all he is. He's not no indigenous. It's only one race. That's the African. Everything else, a nigga put a spin on it. Put a cover on it. Arab. Arab what, nigga? You ain't the original man. The Arab ain't the original man. So what is he? He's a mythological character that was created to keep from saying you are African. All this other shit. Don't want to be African. So he's an Arab. He's a Hebrew. Ain't no Joseph, no Moses, no Abraham. All of those are fictional characters.